Hi guys, yasas ke kalos sirtate, which means hello and welcome in Greek to another episode of Dimitra's Dishes. Today we're making Spetzofai. It's a Greek classic. It's basically Greek style sausage and peppers, and it comes from Mount Pelion in Thessaly. It's very classic, very traditional, and of course, as always, very easy to make. Let's get started. So I have a cast iron skillet heating over medium heat. I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil to this. And I've roughly chopped some sausage. This is beef sausage. Usually lamb sausage is used in this traditionally, but it's pretty hard to find. So use whatever you have, whatever your favorite sausage is, just use that. And we're gonna cook this over medium heat for about 10 minutes or until it's nice and golden and toasted. Now this is suzuki, that's how you say this in Greek, and it's also common in Turkish cuisine, so you can definitely find it in the Middle Eastern or Mediterranean specialty food store. But like I said, use whatever your favorite sausage is, it'll all work in here. If you want to keep this vegan, you can just leave the sausage out and you can use eggplant instead. The way you would do that is you would chop eggplant into cubes and put sprinkle some salt on it, leave it aside for about 15-20 minutes, then pat it dry, and then you would just pan fry the eggplants instead, and then you'd have vegan Spetzofai. So a lot of the time sausage renders out a lot of fat, so you can just take that out. First take the sausage out and put it on a plate once it's nice and toasted and golden on both sides. And then if it's rendered out too much oil or fat, then you can scoop that out and just discard it because you don't want the dish to be overly greasy. Once you do that and there's about 3 to 4 tablespoons of oil or grease in the pan, then you can go ahead and add the slices of bell peppers. I also left some of the small bell peppers whole because it's very traditional to have some whole bell peppers in there, so I just left them in there. And I'm going to cook them over medium heat until they're nice and soft. That's going to take about 6 to 7 minutes. After that, I'm going to go in and add 2 garlic cloves that I've thinly sliced, and I'm going to let them cook for another 4 minutes with the peppers until they're nice and soft. That's going to take about 4 minutes. And once the garlic is nice and soft, I'm going to go in and add a tablespoon of tomato paste. It's going to add so much depth of flavor. I'm just going to mix it in there until it melts and becomes nice and soft and warms through. And then immediately I'm going to add a tablespoon or 2 of balsamic vinegar. That's also going to deepen that flavor and just make it really nice. I'm also going to add the sausage back in along with a can of crushed tomatoes. And then I'm also going to season it with a little bit of salt, some black pepper, some crushed red pepper flakes for heat, which are optional. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of sugar because the tomato paste and the crushed tomatoes tend to be a little bit acidic. So you could add between half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon of sugar just to sweeten it up just a tiny bit and balance out the flavors. Bring it to a boil. Then we're going to reduce the heat to a medium and let this cook until all of the water or liquid evaporates and you're left with a thick sauce and a little bit of oil. Give it a taste and adjust the seasoning, and then we're going to move on to the next step. In about 15 minutes, the meal should be ready. The sauce should be nice and thick, and give it a taste and see if it needs more seasoning. Mine was perfect. It didn't need anything else. Now this tastes great with some toasted bread to soak up all that rich sauce. You could also serve it with some mashed potatoes or some pasta or rice, whatever you want, or some veggies. Now, traditionally in Greece, this is served as an appetizer, but believe you me, this is so hearty. It can easily be served as a main course, ready in under an hour, loaded with flavor, and it's just so warm and comforting and delicious and very inexpensive to make too. So I'm gonna go in and take a bite. Of course, I have some bread. I like to put a little piece of sausage and some peppers onto the bread. If you want to, you can sprinkle some feta on top, but it has lots and lots of flavor. The sausage is nice and a little bit spicy the way I like it. The peppers are sweet and almost melted. So good. That sauce is very rich and flavorful. So many layers of flavor in this. This will make a delicious sandwich too. Put this in between some bread and enjoy it. The recipe, as always, is going to be on the website, dimitrasdishes.com. On there, I put all tips and tricks and everything I might have forgotten because sometimes while we shoot the videos, a lot of crazy stuff happens and I forget to say some stuff. So everything is going to be listed on the blog post, as well as underneath this video in the description box down below. The recipe, ingredients, all of that is on there. Thank you guys so much for spending time with me today. I'll see you all next time. Yes, sus.